What's up, everybody? I am Simone. Alongside me, I have none other than my main man, Ali John. I'm like, where the fuck he looking? Like, why are you
Can I do a fake off guard? Like, dang. Can I ask
All right, my bad. I made it hot. Anyway, you guys are now tuned into yet another episode of Champions Corner here at our home base of LRM Network. We got our boy Rich in the building today at the Champions Corner table.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me here. It's pretty dope. And I was just like I was saying, it's weird being on this side, but it was fun.
We put you on the spot a little bit.
It's a little different.
Yeah, 100% different.
It's all good. Want to let everybody know what you do, where you from.
So basically, I do interviews. I conduct them. I have New Jersey artists come up. Saying various artists from all over the state. I live in Perth Amboy. I do playlists. I help artists market their music, help them push it out. But yeah, no, the primary thing I do is conducting interviews like you guys.
Where is it? La Familia. What made you want to get into doing interviews with artists?
Well, originally, I started my shows because I wanted to practice a way to market and brand something. So I figured, why not just start a show? Because I also love music. I live and I die by music. That's my passion. It makes me happy. I feel like it's my whole life. So I was like, okay, so if I'm going to practice this skill, why not practice it on something I love to do?
Right.
So then I figured, why not just start inviting artists from, artists up and start trying to interview them. And I had never done it before. I never tried it before, really. But I was like, it's just how I do things, fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it, let's try it out. So I think one of my first interviews, the oldest interview I can remember is actually a Spanish artist, Favo.
Nice.
I don't know if you heard of him, but he's out from Elizabeth. So, and I really didn't understand none of his music because it's all in Spanish. So I don't know how that ended up working out, but that's the oldest one I can remember. But then after that, it was more like hip hop and R&B and singers and engineers and videographers and writers. And because I expanded on just why just do artists? Why not just anyone who's involved in the scene?
Absolutely.
And those are super dope because it gives people an insight, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Into the different aspects, whether it's how to reach out to them or how to become like them.
Right.
So.
You want to go ahead?
Boom.
See, sometimes that happens.
Nah, of course, yeah. But it's easier with two people. I actually had my first co-host last week, Ty Perkins, and it was such a relief. It was so much easier.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ty Perkins, though. She's super
Shout
dope,
out to her.
Yeah, super dope. She was awesome, and it was such a relief. Because I was like, oh shit, all right, she got this.
Right.
Rather than always having to actively try to bounce off.
Maybe add that aspect to your show.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I know I got Clico?
Yes.
So he's gonna help me co-host some of my shows.
Lit. Shout out to Clico. He's actually our next guest too.
Bro, shout out to
He
Clico.
just make it.
Oh wait, when is that show? Because he told me he can't start till 20th. So I wonder if he's supposed to come up here, and that's why he's.
I think that's next week, the 25th.
Oh, 25th. Okay, a few days after. Yeah. So, but the first one he'll do with me is on the 20th, I believe.
Nice.
That's dope. He's awesome. You'll have fun with that one. That was actually one of my most successful interviews. Was him because people loved his insight, whether how to be an engineer, how to deal with the artist, and what's going on in there.
Correct.
So you'll have a lot of fun with him.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like to gravitate not behind the mic this way, but try to be an artist or try to be in the industry that way. What kind of pulled you into being on the other side of the mic?
My bars were terrible.
At least you're honest about it.
No. Like I just said, it had started off as a way to craft a skill as in the brand and marketing, and it just ended up with me being behind a microphone. So I actually, before I started my show, I kind of was doing a show with my friend Dave. It's called the Rich and Dave Show. We just kind of talked about whatever. We interviewed one or two people, but it wasn't an interview really. It was kind of both of us just learning. So that was just kind of that. We were just oh, let's try it out. So there wasn't really no just something was oh, get behind the mic and start interviewing people. It just kind of just happened that the best way for me to practice, again, that skill was doing this and being around the people and around the industry and just learning about people and being curious because you got to be really curious to want to do this. So I guess just that, really the curiosity drives me, just sitting there and hearing these people's stories and learning and knowing that you're giving them a chance to be heard, you know what I'm saying? To an audience that may not have heard them before or help them expand. They got an album coming out or a song coming out or,
Right.
So it's an opportunity to give back to as well to the culture that has pretty much been my whole life, So
you do your show out of Kean University.
yeah, I do it out of Kean University. Yeah.
We also started out of Kean University. Shout out to WKNJ.
Cougars.
So what has your experience been like doing radio at KU?
No, super awesome. Like, I mean, like, you guys see it, like, it's awesome, but the thing is, I don't treat it like it's radio. So I pretty much use the station like a TV set. Because, like, if you watch my show, like, I got my man Gene right here. We got my other camera girl, Asia. You know what I'm saying? So we got 4 cameras going. Nice. We got the 2 camera people. I got my boy Franklin in there writing articles as the episode's going on. Nice. I got my girl Kim in there. She's helping me put together a newsletter. You know what I'm saying? So I just treat it more or less like a setting. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think about, like, in and out, because radio's in and out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he'll have artists come walk in and out 10 times out the room. He'll make me redo my intro like 7 times. Like, so I'm treating it more like not radio, but a TV show. Right. So, like, to say, like, how is the radio? Like, I can't really answer that because I don't look at it that way or treat it in that aspect. Right. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a TV show. I want to give it, you know what I'm saying? So
it's really busy.
It's busy. But I see you guys got your intros and stuff. So, like, you guys are kind of looking like that kind of like TV kind of thing, too. Like, you got the cameras here. Yeah, it's a podcast. It's audio, but you're saying you got cameras. You got your intros. You know what I'm saying? So when you break that mind of just being audio and you can present a whole visual, it becomes so much fucking awesome.
Yeah,
because I relate to that. Because, like, when I was doing my thing at Kean, like, when I first did radio there, it was like the waves to be, like, on air was, like, broken.
Yeah, like sometimes the shit don't work. Most of the time the shit don't work.
It was so you gotta improvise.
Right, it was broke for like a year straight, and you know Kean was like real old at that time, so it was broke for like a year straight, and it was like
a year.
Well, not like broke like as in money, but like broke as in like broken, right? So I was like, how am I supposed to like record my show? How people supposed to hear me? They're like, oh, this is what you do. You take, remember the CDs that they used to have to take the CD, put it in there like we was in like 1996 or something. So I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. So I did some research. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to treat this as a podcast. So I'm going to save everything. I'm going to save all the audio, send it to myself, and I'm going to put it on iTunes. And that's what I started doing, right? So I started doing. And like, since I wasn't on the air, I could curse and do all the crazy stuff that I wanted. And then they got on air. And then I got yelled at mad times.
You gotta hit that red button.
Mad times. Oh nah.
The dump button. I was
the famous dump button. Yeah. And that's why, like, when you first came in here, I said I was happy that you turning Kean up like we used to do, because we used to have a lot of people running in and out their studio. Yeah. Sometimes we used to have shows with 5-6 people in there, everybody on the mic just chilling, having a good time, and it was it made me happy to see that Kean is like really back in that space.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and like you said, there's no more CDs. They upgraded the whole room, but still it's the station part, like the live stream and the fucking antenna shit. Yeah. Like 75% of the time it don't work. So once I realized that, I was like, what? Why would I waste my time with that?
Exactly.
And that's when the idea came together. Like, fuck that. Camera, boom, we here.
Is Scott McHugh still the?
Yes, that's my man right
there. Shout out to Professor.
Love him. Without him, I don't know, like, if I'd be able to do all the things I do. You know what I'm saying? Because he gives me a lot of leeway and helps me out and looks me out. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely understands that we're all working towards something bigger than just being in a classroom.
Yes.
So that's fucking awesome.
Like, for people that want to get in that lane and you go to Kean University, I would highly suggest you join WKNJ. Like, even if you don't want to be on air, you just want to get a feel. There's so many personalities there. Like,
and they got 2 podcast studios in there now too.
That's lit.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, I guess I don't know what
that's lit.
Like the side rooms. You're saying you got the on air room.
The side rooms.
So there's 2 side rooms, and those are kind of, they got the microphones in there, the equipment, but they're not on air, so you can use them as like podcasts.
Shout out to Kean, yo.
Wow.
Yeah, they invested some money just in time.
Yeah.
But you know, even if it was run down and broke down, you still made something happen.
Exactly.
So that's all. It's not about what's in front of you; it's what you can do with it.
What you make of it.
So it don't matter. Regardless, you'll find a way to turn it up.
Right. That's good times.
So you have a Spotify playlist that you conduct every week?
It really depends on my schedule, because there was one point I was doing it every Tuesday on point. But then there's times it's honestly 2 or 3 weeks just because of my schedule. But yeah, no, I do try to keep it as updated as much as possible. Because, you know, I don't know, like, I feel like, again, I don't even treat it just, again, it's another thing I don't treat like a playlist. Like, I don't have 1,000 songs on there. Right. Like, no, your song's not going to get lost in the mix of what I'm doing. I try to keep it to like 20 songs, and every time it's updated completely new. And I try not to have an artist on there at least back to back. So that way I give more people an opportunity. Absolutely. You know, so biggest playlist of only Jersey hip hop in New Jersey. I mean, it's only like 5,000 people, but still more than anyone else. Right. But like, there should be more people putting them out, because look, I'm only putting 20 songs and what I'm coming across, like, there's 1,000 artists.
Yeah.
Like, there's artists every day. People are like, oh, you know this person? I'm like, nah. Like,
they're
like, oh, they're so big though, but I'm like, nah, I just don't know. And then I might say to you, like, do you know this person? They're super dope, and you're like, nah. Yeah. Because there's so many. So I wish more people would do more playlists so we could give the chance to do more. But again, so like at 20 songs each week, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. switch them out, and then I also do like the playlist cover. So I create like the visual element because again, everything I do is to try to help artists be heard by new people and audiences. So if I just have a playlist, it's there on Spotify. You know about it or you don't know about it.
Correct.
And there's no chance for it to spread.
Right.
But now when I create that visual element, and now you see like I'm starting to add like the music videos to it. So that way also a videographer could get some spotlight. So now it's not only the artist, now the videographer is getting a look.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to spread as much as I can. And so basically when you create that visual element, like I put it out to my audience. And now the artists are going to share it, and then their friends are going to share it. So now my reach may only be 32,000 people, whatever I got. And now we're expanding on that to fucking like whatever, like 100,000, 200,000. Like, like sometimes on a playlist, like I have a person with 200,000 people following them, and they'll share it. So boom, now that's 200,000 more people. So it's all about like just a tree. Like if I'm just like right here, and the branches and branches and branches and branches, boom. Now like it's a chance for them to be heard by everybody. So even though I kind of try to do it strategically. When I do put a person at the top, like people are like, always how you do it. And I try to entice the bigger artists to share it. And they're gonna be more enticed if I put them on the front and put them on the cover. Sometimes I'll put like a smaller artist on there that if I'm just like in love with their song, like the last one I did, there's this kid Lil Flex from Linden. Okay. So I just really love his song. He's not a big artist yet, but he's working really hard. He's out there with his videographer, Wave Change, who works with Fat Boy. And so I put him on top. But usually, like, I'll have the Chad B's or with the Albie Owls before or the Crutches because you need to entice them to share. And when you get bigger artists to share it, then the smaller artists have a chance. Exactly. So that, it is strategic in that sense. I try to mix it up. Maybe I'll put a bigger artist in between three so that way, hopefully, you put on the artist you like and then the next three are just there because you're doing something. Right. So there is a little bit of strategy to it. Right. And then as far as the music I choose for it, it's really, I just really just select songs sometimes. There's some songs I like. There's like songs I hate on there, but but the reason being is that just because I hate it don't mean you
everybody
do.
Else
I'm
does.
not here. I try to remain as neutral as possible. I understand you guys do this stuff too. If you want to be a journalist or in media, you got to remain as neutral as possible. Right? Yep. So my ear is not your ear. Who am I to determine? So there's a song that you might think is super fire, and I might be like, oh, shit's trash. Right. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make that judgment. I'm just gonna throw it on there and let the people decide for themselves.
Makes sense.
So
yeah, makes all the sense in the world. So you said that you're from Perth Amboy.
No, I'm not from Perth Amboy. I live in Perth Amboy, yes.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Keansburg and then South Amboy. And then I went off to the military. And then I came back and landed in Perth Amboy.
Oh, so you got an interesting perspective on things.
Yeah.
So how was it like growing up in those two different spots and then going off to the military?
Well, they were kind of the same. No, but Keansburg is more of like, you know, it's on the shore. You know what I'm saying? You have the boardwalk. It was more like, you know what I'm saying, just like that. And it was a lot bigger, I feel like, than South Amboy. And then South Amboy is where like I had the little studio in my like living room, and then you know just you meet your high school friends there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's more just that, you know, smoking weed for the first time, creating music, hanging out with the people. But then really just the military is really what changed like my whole thing because like here I am leaving like Keansburg and South Amboy, which are predominantly white towns. You know what I'm saying? So like you do have like that little smaller of a mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't leave that town, you don't know about it outside of it. Like I remember being the kid like in those schools, like one loving hip hop. And dressing like it and being called certain words or blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? For that, because it wasn't cool then. Like it is now where everyone's doing it, you know what I'm saying? I was doing this when I still had to withstand like having to hear this or that because like there wasn't that many like, you know, Hispanic people or black people in those towns. But then you go off to the military and now like I was stationed in Newport News, Virginia, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you're surrounded by it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but then not only that, but like your whole perspective on the world changes. You no longer have this little small like, little mindset, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then not only that, but you learn to work with people from all different cultures. You know what I'm saying? Because like if us three all just work together and we're all from Rahway, we're all gonna have like this one perspective. But now you go into the military and saying, I'm from Rahway, you're from Texas, you're from California, he's from like Mexico, and he's maybe from like Europe somewhere. And boom, you have all these different perspectives coming into like a sonic boom of an idea. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you just learn to work with many different people and learn to accept these different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? So then when I came back, I just felt like a whole new person. I had this whole world experience. I went to Iraq. I deployed to war. I was living in Texas. I was living in Virginia. I was living in Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I feel like I feel like that's what separates my platform from the other ones out here. And I love all the platforms out here, but we all have our like our pros and our cons.
Absolutely.
Some of them are way more like embedded in like the communities and have that, you know what I'm saying? But for me, what separated for me was that now when you come on my platform, the people that follow me and take my word and believe in me are from all over the world. So instead of just being heard in Jersey now, you're going to be heard by someone that lives halfway around the world or California, like these different places, you know what I'm saying?
Which is very important.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? I'm giving my chance to diversify their audience and try to spread them outside of just, saying the tri-state possibly. So that's what I do feel like separates them, because again, back to that military thing, is that I've made these friends from all over the world. And you know what I'm saying? So I just think that's super dope when I could show it off, and I have one of my boys hit me up from Oregon, whatever the fuck you said. And be like, yo, the song's fire. Who's this guy? This is one of these guys from Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Now maybe they show it to their friends.
Yeah.
So I just think I love that idea of it. And there's people I know, because again, there's so many different cultures, guys I knew from Texas with the cowboy hats, this and that would have never, ever, ever listened to one of these songs.
True.
But just because they're on their page or they fuck with me, they might check it out. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like that was because of my time in the military, and one of the strengths and what separates me, at least my pro of my platform. Right. So
what's the best show you've had thus far?
No, Clico Gino. No, it was Clico Gino. Love him. But that Chad B episode we shot last week was fire. Yeah, but to date, Clico. But Clico's awesome, and Clico's going to be a co-host on my show as well soon for a few episodes joining me. Clico's was awesome. I got a lot of great responses from it. Every engineer in the state pretty much was hitting me up or checking it out or sharing it, because he has worked with so many different people and so many artists. And he has such a deep history in the game, and he's sitting there explaining. I don't know if you'll say, but he's doing, and he's his body motion. He's when I'm with Lil Durk, he's like this. So he's adding that energy to it. It's so fucking dope. But Chad B's episode last week, when it drops, that shit, we had fun. It was amazing. We had the whole and I was kind of uncomfortable because I take control of the room. You're saying I usually don't a lot of people in the room. Yeah. Because it's just a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? But last week, I guess it was just fuck it. We had we had the whole room packed. We had we had obviously me. We had Ty in there. We had Chad in there. We had Scotty Too
You said it.
Hottie? Scotty Too Hottie, yeah, my bad.
Too Fly.
Or Too Fly? I'm sorry. No disrespect. I'm just thinking of everybody.
He got a lot on his mind.
They had his cameraman in the room. Then we had obviously my writer in the room. We had Kim in the room. We had Gene in the room. We had Asian in the room. This shit. And then we had his manager, Nick, outside the room, but in the other podcast we were talking about where they could listen to it. So it was just
a vibe.
Yeah, it was a vibe, but doing it from this end, look, we're comfortable. Right?
Yeah.
And you've been in that race. It's not that big.
Yeah, it's not that big.
And I got Gene and he's just trying to run around with cameras, because we got 2 moving cameras, and then we got 2 stations.
And you got other camera people.
And then we had the guys shooting pictures and stuff like that. But you know what? I was like, whatever, fuck it. Let's just make the shit hella dope for Chad. Right. And let these people in the room, because they are also important people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be no when I feel like the person has a reason to be in there.
Correct.
Whether it's a good look for me as well, Right. So, but yeah. That Chad B episode, super fire. He just talked a lot. He was open. He didn't hide nothing. We just got into every topic, and he just he made it easy. Don't even ask questions. Just mention something, and he was just
off. Right into it.
So yeah, if y'all get a chance, definitely Chad B. And he let me break that his new song with Fetty Wap.
Yeah.
So I was the first one I got to play before it dropped a few hours later. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was a super dope moment. He's like, yo, play the shit. We played it. We all just in there chilling. We shot the freestyle. He did the Drake 4 AM in Calabasas beat. Okay. So even when he told me he was gonna use that beat, I was like, okay, you about to just go off, because that beat is just one of those
Yep.
Yeah. So.
That's super dope though. I'm happy for you. Everything you got going on.
Right. So you said that you have an entire you basically have a production crew in there, right? How was it linking up with all of those people, and how were you able to pick, okay, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and how'd you put them together?
How I put together?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I first started the second season, I had someone reach out to me, and they're like, oh, do you got a videographer for the show? Because beforehand I was just like this. I just had my one little camera to set up somewhere and record it. And then so he hit me up, and I was like, yeah, come through. And he shot the first episode. That was a 400. And then something happened, but he couldn't do it anymore. So the next 2 episodes, unfortunately, because the next 2 episodes I had Crutch for the second time, Calhoun, and then I had the Clico episode. So that was back to the one camera thing. And then at the time I was also broadcasting for Kean, for the NCAA, and calling the games. Yeah. So we were calling all the games, and Gene is one of the camera people for that. So and I remember a few weeks before that, he was talking about going up and trying to find a show to record. So I was like, yo, let me just go to the man and be what's good? I don't think we had even talked that much at that point, honestly. Because I was in the broadcast and I was calling the games, and he was doing the camera. So usually I was with my boy John, and we would be researching for the calling the games and shit, Right. So the interaction wasn't always like that, besides yo, what's good, blah, blah, blah. So then I was just like, yo, come up. I didn't even know if he was good or not. I didn't know if we were going to have chemistry or not, but to me, I was just fuck it, what's the worst that could happen? Right. There's a camera. Like, what's the worst that could happen? And it turned out like he was amazing. So he came on board fully, and then Asia, like she hit me up, and she was the head of the whole Kean Sports videography department. She runs the whole shit. But she was like, she had did Hot 97 before, and she had did other things. So she hit me up, like she's like, oh, do you mind if I come up and start shooting too? So I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Right. So boom, now I got the 2 camera people, and like their chemistry is great because they're the ones that are taking it back. He's editing the video, like putting it together, and then she's going ahead and adding the different elements to it. And then she's done some of the full episodes herself as well, but usually it's usually that you do the editing, the main editing, and then she does the final touches. Nice. And like whether or not the ideas are good. And then honestly, like the shit just all gravitates to me. Mm-hmm. And then Franklin, he hit me up and was like, yo, he's wrote for Hot 97 before, he wrote for La Mega, like he also has Rebel TV, shout out to them. And he was like, yo, can I come write articles for you? So I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. Like, come on, like you're saying, so boom, he's sitting in the room writing. And then I came up with this idea for like a newsletter. So then my friend Kim, she had been kind of wanting to get into this kind of world, and she does like PR and stuff like that. So I figured like it would just work out with her because she does PR. She has like experience doing newsletters and things like that. And we're really good friends. So I called her up and I was like, yo, do you want to do this? And she was like, yeah, like no hesitation. So boom, like we're still putting it together, we're crafting it, but like, so kind of like shit just like gravitated, and like I just kind of like know, like, well, I got very lucky with Jean. And then Asia, like, I was like, okay, she did this shit before. She runs this whole department. She's going to know what she's doing. And then Franklin, obviously, he's been a writer before. And, like, you know what I'm saying? And then Kim, which is a good friend, but I just trusted in her. So, but for the most part, it's just like, let's do it. Like,
so you got a solid team on in your corner.
Yeah, so, like, you know, it's just what it is. Like, I feel like when you put, like, a good energy into the world, you just happen to draw good people. And when you're working and you're grinding, like you guys are, you just kind of, like, draw those people into your life.
Correct.
It's like all of a sudden you're just meeting people like that. Like, everyone's doing something. Mm-hmm. And it's just because you guys are working so hard. That it's just like that is what the fucking people are putting like on you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. No,
it's
true.
Really dope. It's amazing. Like, it's just...
How important is it for you to have a solid team like that when you're doing what it is that you're doing? Because you mentioned before, like that gives you a chance to focus in on what you need to do. So now that you have other people,
no, it's fucking. You know what I'm saying?
It's only up, right?
No, I mean like just wait.
Oh yeah, wait.
Like, because now, like before, I was like in here trying to set up a camera, trying to direct the people. Trying to come up with ways to write stuff for like the YouTube descriptions or captions, having to research, having to go find the artist, having to make sure they're there on time, coordinating all that stuff. Like you guys know, like you gotta do literally everything.
Yep.
So now it's like the only thing I have to really worry about is posting the shit, finding the people and doing my research and just talking. Now that's all I have to do. Right. Like so now before I doing everything, and I am capable of doing everything. You are capable of doing everything. You're capable of doing everything. But once you have everyone around you, it's like it allows it to get better because now instead of trying to be a jack of all trades, you have people that are specifically focused on doing what they do. Yep. Like I don't have to worry about nothing with a video. I don't even have to look at it. I don't even like look at them all the time. I just know Gene did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That these people did their thing. I don't have to read his article. I know he did his thing. Of course I do, but what I'm saying is like I don't have to like worry about it. I don't have to be like this, and this. Right. Like whatever he wants to do, I say do it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna ask somebody to do something for you, you might as well trust them.
Exactly. You have Otherwise, to trust
why
them.
Have them? You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to have his style. Why am I going to try and change his style to what I think it should look like? Exactly. Other than like maybe like when we first started, like I was just like, yo, just make sure his logo is placed here. And little things like at first. But then now it's like, I don't have to think nothing about it. Right. So yeah, just like huge weight. It allows it to grow and expand more. And I feel it gives you more credibility because when people walk in that room and see all these people and you're explaining like this person does this, and this, they're no longer like, oh, it's just like a little podcast or a show. Right. Like, no, you're going to get something like maxed out quality. Yeah. Some production. So, and it's content, like, and they need that too. Like, it's great content for everybody. Like, you guys are putting out great content. Like, that's beneficial to every party. That's why I tell artists, like, if someone wants to interview and they even got only fucking 100 followers, but they're putting out great content, like, the piece is great, just do it. Because then you push it out through your channels. Yep. And what happens if those 100 people never heard of you? Now you had 100 new people who heard of you. Mm-hmm. So, don't look at the size of what the podcast is because maybe they're just growing. Right. Maybe they're not really the best at knowing how to grow it. But maybe they're really great at creating the content and putting it together. And now you have this beautiful piece of content for free that you could push. And then when you want to go get verified or you want to go build your EPK, you have all these backlinks.
Yep.
So
people don't understand how important that is. Like, not all the time is it about the numbers. Sometimes it's about the quality and things that people can put out. Sometimes people don't even have the time to push what it is that they have, but it's good.
Yeah.
So I tell people all the time, content's the most important thing. I feel like if the content is super dope, then the numbers is gonna come.
Yeah, content is king.
As long as your content is good and you're consistent with your content, everything else is gonna fall into place.
Yep.
100%.
Agreed. So I figured there's so much going on in the media this week in general. Okay. I figured we could all pick our brains on everything that's been going on because we don't really speak during the week, which is like we speak, but we don't speak.
Yeah, we don't speak. It's
but I be catching your shit.
Yo, chill out.
And stuff you be talking about. So
you be commentating?
I mean, just a little. I just say my piece on Twitter for a little bit.
But you got to. Twitter is like. Don't nobody follow me on Twitter because I done deleted like 10, 15 Twitters.
Yo, Twitter is the best app.
I wouldn't be going off on Twitter. I feel like that's the place to do it. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I'm not trying to be canceled one day, and it could be over something stupid. So I'm like,
something so stupid.
I be wanting to text him like, why you say that?
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait for Tuesdays because what?
Like, I'm even careful if I like put up song lyrics now.
Right, because song lyric.
Yeah, like they be like, "Oh, this person said this." I'm like, no, it's a song lyric.
What a time we live in, man. Jeez.
Nice.
100%.
I wanted to start off with the whole Meek Mill, Nicki Minaj situation that went down. Was that last week?
Yeah, that was last week. Or like over the last couple of weeks, right? Because first there was a video inside the store, and then there was a whole back and forth on the social media.
Correct. So, last week's episode was allegedly, Meek Mill liked a picture that had something to do with Nicki Minaj's husband,
it was a meme.
Shall I say. Nicki went off. Things got heated. Who do you guys feel was in the wrong?
I feel like they're both in the wrong. That's like the safe answer to say they're both in the wrong. Yeah. They're both in the wrong, right? But I feel like
don't keep it safe. Yeah, don't keep it safe.
I agree with him.
Like, because they're both in the wrong clearly. But I feel like, and I hate, like, I'm not gonna say I hate to be on Meek's side on this one because like I'm not a fan of what Nicki has been doing over the past couple of years. But like Meek was more in the wrong than she was, because as a man, you're supposed to, at the end of the day, even in a breakup, you're supposed to let the woman exit gracefully. You feel what I'm saying? You're supposed to you're supposed to be a man about it. You're supposed to take that L, take it on the chest, let her exit gracefully, even if she was wrong in the entire relationship. Let it exit gracefully. You sweep everything under the rug. You don't expose anything of it, and you just let it be. I like how he's being petty about her new man's though, about her husband. Like, that's funny. You feel me? You can do that. That's funny because your new man not as dope as me, so I can send shots at him, but I'm never gonna send shots at you because at one point I loved you. I seen a future with you. I can't do that. I can't bash you after that. Can't do that.
It could just be a toxic relationship. They seem like they'd be in a toxic relationship.
That too.
But like you said, but also like, I don't know. I'd be on Team Meek.
Yeah.
Because like Nicki's shown like the people she be around. Like I feel like she should stay quiet. Only for the fact that like just that whole charge, her brother was just charged. You might want to stay down for a little bit.
I'm so 50-50 because people are like, how can you pay for your brother's lawyer and he clearly committed this crime? Okay, cool. It's very sad and unfortunate what happened. But how many times have you heard niggas say, free my nigga, and your nigga done committed a whole murder? Mm-hmm. Like, it's the same thing. So rape? It's the same thing. Honestly, two wrong.
I'd rather one of my people like shoot somebody than rape somebody.
They're both bad. Somebody done lost their lives either way.
There's levels to bad.
Nah, bad is bad. I'm sorry, really? Bad is bad.
So like, if you had a choice of one of your friends murdering somebody or raping a little kid, which one are you choosing?
I don't want to choose because they're both fucking bad. Like, either way, you're going to hell. Like, they're both really bad. Listen, but I'm just saying, in that terms, like, if my homie committed a murder, I'm not saying free you. You did some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to say free anybody. I'm just saying, but there is like different levels to this. I feel like, in my personal opinion.
Like, the God I serve tells me no one sin is greater than the other. But there's some of them that's just very egregious. Some of them is very egregious.
And didn't her current husband do something like that too, like rape somebody?
Oh, he had a whole rap sheet.
He had a whole rap sheet. I think he got caught.
I'm confused as to why she's even with him.
6ix9ine stuff. So how does she keep finding herself around people?
It's a good point. It's a good point. Listen, bro, Nicki might be the problem. I'm sorry.
She very well might be.
Nicki's toxic. First of all, she might be one of the most toxic people in this industry, just because of how. Just look at everybody that was around her at one point. That's not around her anymore. Right. The majority of them have nothing but bad things to say about her, or she's beefed with them.
I would like to clarify this though. I don't know whether or not he really did hit her or not, but if he did, that was also no one's defending that.
I'm sure he
talking
did.
About like
I'm sorry.
Why are you sure?
No, because if you could go on air and say, I don't even remember why I came at Drake. I was on Perks. That was around the same time that you and Nicki was together. So
Man,
you might don't even know what the fuck you was doing at that time.
That is very true, and I'll never defend that. But Safari has went on record and said Nicki has stabbed him.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like it's just a big
She's
toxic
an
and we saw how Nicki
She
did
an
Safari. She had
islander.
Meek right there.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
And
Like,
as soon as she's done with Meek, she has his ex-boyfriend back in her life and married him. Like,
never said she wasn't toxic. I'm just saying y'all
the
both
whole relationship.
y'all both in the wrong. Nicki, you're married, first of all. Meek, you got a whole baby on the way with Milano. If I was Milano, I definitely would feel some type of way. Like, why are you arguing with your ex and I'm pregnant?
Yeah.
What are we
I think
doing
they're destined
here?
to get back together, honestly.
Nah,
I don't think so.
I
I feel like it's like that
I
shit. Like,
feel
they just be back together. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't see it.
Like, all of a sudden, everybody be like, oh, they're back together.
right? Nah, I don't see
I don't
that.
see it.
It could. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it's went too
The
far.
internet would
It's
love
like-
that, but I
Jesus.
just don't see it.
But, like,
happening.
that's what I'm saying. When you're in a toxic relationship, there is no such thing as too far.
That is true. That is very true.
It's just some things you don't say.
Yeah.
Like, and they both cross mega lines
And that's
that
the thing,
don't need to
'cause,
be
like,
crossed.
you know, I don't want to bash women up here because like I love women, like
100%.
you feel me. But like sometimes, like I'm not gonna say sometimes. Most of the time, like when women are mad, they go a little bit too far.
We do.
They always go for the low blow, boom, like. And
We want to hit you where it hurt.
exactly. Like, you don't gotta do that all the time. Like, yo, like a man to confide something in a woman, like, yeah, you know, like my dad was never there for me, and she'll go use that in an argument. Yeah, that's why you act like that, because your dad was never there. And you be like, yo, like I told you that in confidence. Now you gonna throw it in my face like that. You feel me? I feel like that's something that she did, but they both did it to each other. So.
Exactly. Your brother's a rapist, and you pay for his lawyer, but you smacked me. I'm like, what?
But you,
Where we going with this
Yeah,
right
that's
now?
what I'm saying. In that sense, yes, they're both wrong because, like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, never condone hitting
right?
Right.
either person. should not be
Everybody
hitting
keep your
nobody.
hands to yourself.
everyone keep your hands to yourself.
Please.
But
Everybody keep
I feel
your
like
hands
she
to
should have laid
yourself.
low just because of all the stuff that was in the news about her brother.
Right.
At least wait a few weeks because you already know that's what people are going to combat you back with.
Right.
You already know.
That's true. Damn.
And then her barbs come attack people. So there's that.
I feel like it's
Yo.
less though now because I like on Twitter like I didn't see them like.
Woo! I saw the
Yeah,
barbs.
I would like I don't know.
I mean, I
The
wouldn't
barbs,
see
the
them.
beehive, and the Re-Navy is.
I'm part of the Navy. Avid
Untouchable.
supporter of the Navy.
Oh, so Rihanna over Beyonce?
I've never seen you boast about Beyonce.
Okay.
Rihanna over.
Because you said you were Navy right there, and she named Beyonce.
Rihanna over Beyonce. I'm sorry.
No, but their fans are brutal.
Yeah, shout out to the Queen Bee though. Like she's still like I still hold her in high regard, but it's Rihanna.
I do
over
too.
Beyonce.
I'm not really a fan of this Ivy Park line that just came out. It's real bland, but
In person, it's kind of fire.
all right, maybe I
It's
need to
gonna
see it
sell.
in person.
Yeah.
Remember Yeezy season 1? You know what I'm
was
saying?
bland.
And now that's the style.
Yeah.
It's just like a homeless people's clothes.
Exactly.
I don't even know if it's
LeBron
style. I
and-
just think it's
Right.
popular.
Yeah. Always. Yeah. Kanye.
Yeah.
It's Kanye. We gotta buy it.
Yeah, it's Kanye. Exactly.
I feel
There's
like,
people that transcend things that they'll sell whatever.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of like died down. Like it's Kanye, we're gonna buy it just because it's Kanye. I feel like that's died down a little bit now.
Yeah, now we doing it with Beyonce.
She earned it, I guess.
So you got your Ivy Park on the way?
No,
It's
I'm
Wow,
sorry.
that
I
was
love
dope.
Beyonce, but I'm not a fan of buying something I'm not interested in. Like, or I don't think it's nice. I mean, there's a million other people out here that's gonna support it. She ain't missing out on nothing by not getting my dollar. So,
That's valid.
but shout out to her. Like, I like what she got going on. It's just not my
She's good. She got a billionaire husband.
cup of tea.
Yes, she
And
does.
she's got a lot of money herself. So
Yeah, she's gonna be all right.
Speaking of billionaire husband,
What happened?
JayZ just gave how much did the NFL?
100 million
$100 million.
He pledged $100 million.
over the course of what though, like 7 or 8 years, right? It wasn't like 100 million in one shot.
Nah, it wasn't.
I believe I
Nah,
could be wrong,
it
but I feel like it
wasn't
was over a course of like.
Yeah, it's over the course of some years because $100 million in one shot is outrageous. For
Yeah.
anything.
I don't
outrageous
see
for the
them
NFL.
doing that
Of course not.
But-
because they
yeah.
got it.
Of course they got it, but
They make 100 million Super Bowl weekend.
right.
A commercial.
that's super facts. I'm happy though. Super happy.
I just mentioned it because we always argue with people about what JayZ has done for the NFL
Right.
since the whole Kaepernick situation, and I just feel like we've stated a million times, we are not in those rooms, so we cannot speak necessarily on what exactly is going on. But I feel like over time, I would like to see JayZ do something, and I feel like it's coming. I'm just gonna say allegedly, like speaking, because I don't know, but
You know
I
what
feel like it's
think?
coming.
I think you're gonna be waiting for a very long time.
I probably will,
because
because things don't happen overnight.
that's what I'm saying. And like JayZ isn't one of those people that'll like do something and then be the face of what he's doing.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like a lot of the things, I feel like the majority of things that are gonna come out about, you know, reforming the NFL that JayZ's behind, he's gonna slowly try to detach his name from it. Just because he doesn't do things for the notoriety. Yeah,
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
I'm a businessman.
Like at the end of the day, like he might find a way to help people, but at the end of the day, Jay's getting his bread.
Of course.
That's
he's not doing nothing without a dollar behind it.
I feel like that's, and there's nothing wrong with that at all because everyone is concerned about getting their money. So I feel it's fucked up when you look at certain people like, oh, you should be trying to do this.
Exactly.
For that, you know what I'm saying? And they only pick and choose whether like it was JayZ and Beyonce sitting down during Anthem. But at the same point, Trump was over there like pointing and commenting, and like, but yet we're focused on JayZ. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
like
everybody is selective about what they expect. Like athletes or musicians, like it's not their job. Like it's cool if they would, but why do they have to sacrifice money or be the ones that have to do this, and everyone else gets a pass just because? At the end of the day, you gotta get your money.
I'm not a fan of telling millionaires how to spend their time or money. So
facts, because they really don't have to do it.
They're doing something better than me.
Exactly. They don't have to do it.
They could be doing something way more relaxing.
So
to
the
be
fact
honest.
that they're even, you know, entertaining this fact of doing it, that's a lot for me, honestly. Because I know me.
If you had $1 million.
If I had $1 million, obviously I'm gonna try to help out where I can, but I gotta make sure my situation is green first before I start pledging money places.
Yep.
Feel me? That's just what it is.
I don't know, man. Like,
so what do you think about the first halftime show as JayZ being he's like pretty much the coordinator of the entertainment, right? Like he does that part, selecting
Beyonce,
Shakira and J-Lo.
Beyonce, Shakira, and J-Lo.
I didn't watch it. Like I seen it, but it was like I was around mad people and it was like on mute. But like the production, it looked, you know, like real Super Bowl halftime.
But what do you think about like the people he selected? You think he chose them because it was Miami?
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people on Twitter were upset because there was a lack of, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
but honestly, I think they did a good job. Yeah. I mean,
it's from Miami. You got J-Lo, you got Shakira, you got J Balvin and Bad Bunny. What more do you want? It's real Miami vibes. They picked all good songs.
Yep.
All
that J-Lo was fire.
And J-Lo was fire.
Not the dancing, but the song selection.
And I like how she put her daughter out there too. That was dope to me.
It is what it is. It was a good performance. I enjoyed what I seen from it because I didn't really hear it.
I was excited to see Shakira. It's been a while since I seen that little belly moving thing.
Right. I was like,
what was the little thing she did with her tongue though? Like she set herself up. I mean, wondering if people do that on purpose because they know it's gonna get mean.
As soon as she did it, I was like, that's gonna be a meme.
Right.
Off it. But I heard it was something cultural behind it. Like, which of course we don't care. Like
no, the meme is what's taking off. The meme, the little
we could care less.
I think that's in my phone, so I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really?
Fast. They had that like probably like 30 seconds after she did it.
Yeah, that's what I love about the internet. They don't waste no time.
Nope. At all. Only thing that bothered me about the Super Bowl was the Donald Trump commercial. Like, I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck was that about? Like,
was he the first president to ever like do like a ad campaign during the Super Bowl like that? Just that outright?
I never paid attention, but they say he spent a couple $1 million on that commercial, and it was disgusting.
No, he knows how to use the media, and that's why he is where he is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm completely fuck all that, but I'm saying, but he is. You gotta recognize someone who knows how to do something.
He knows exactly.
And using the media, whether it's Twitter, the ads, you're saying, like, and knowing that the media rules over real facts and understanding that, like, he's weaponized it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, I'm gonna say it because I'm gonna speak for Black people. I don't know what type of shit that lady was on, but we do not support Donald Trump, okay?
And I was so shocked that it was a Black woman.
Well, that was the woman I believe that
she was vulnerable at that point. Come on, her son just got out of jail, so I feel like it was more.
Girl.
Yeah, it was like
the girl that Kim Kardashian like convinced him to like pardon or get out.
This was an older Black woman thanking him for, I think, releasing her son out of prison.
Man,
I'm not with it. I don't care who the fuck he released. I don't support Donald Trump. Like,
I ain't asked you to release my son. He committed a crime and he was in jail.
Ooh.
What you want? Now you're gonna release my son, and in turn, you want me to compromise my morals and values to go on TV and say something for millions of people? Come on, son. We gotta be more strong than that.
We do, and the Democratic Party really scaring me right now. Cause I was watching that debate the other day, and I'm like, we fucked.
It's like, I feel like it's like that whole Hillary thing back over now, except it's Joe Biden.
Right.
Like, my man's finishing 4th and 5th place, and yet you're still trying to force this guy that clearly people don't want. Right. Like, people want a progressive for the most part. Like, as you see that, you know, the top is like, you know, Sanders, or I think New Hampshire, they're saying Amy Klobuchar, however you say her name. Like she won that, and obviously Pete Buttigieg, he's more of a moderate, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But like the people like the old school, like Biden and stuff like that, at the bottom.
It's not gonna happen. Give us Bernie, bro. Even though Bernie's super duper old, and that scares me to death. Scares me to death. But give me Bernie, bro.
Him and Biden are like around the same age, which is crazy. Yeah, you would never know.
And Sanders had a heart attack during the campaign.
Literally.
But you need a progressive. Like, change the shit. Like that's what people, the younger, like, you know what I'm saying, progressive. Like talking about what these social programs that this guy just Trump just took a big cut out of days after saying like, I'm not even gonna touch this shit till 2021. Right. Like, what's wrong? Fuck it if we don't think we have enough money to give everybody healthcare. We're paying for this guy to play golf. We're paying for more military stuff. We're paying for all this other dumb shit. Like, just make sure we're all good.
Richer.
Like,
it's just the rich getting richer.
Can we just get some healthcare? Like,
please.
I feel like that's not even asking too much.
Right.
Like,
please.
We just don't want to pay $10,000 for an aspirin.
Yeah. Seriously.
Let you go get for 99 cents at the store. Like,
literally. Go to the Poppy store, get it for 99 cents.
Yeah, like that's all. Like, let us be healthy.
Especially when y'all coming up with all these damn diseases.
Right. The disease is coming out of nowhere too. Like,
it's the coronavirus. And I actually learned that the coronavirus is actually not a new virus. It's been here for a while. It's just a new strain of the virus, which is actually very less deadly than the flu. I learned that at my job from
But they gave it a name today, didn't they? An official name.
Of course, it's just the media, though. You watch the news, they make it like, we're going to die. We got this coronavirus. And they're like 10,000 people died in China? You know how fucking big China is? That's not a big number, like, for that virus. China's big as shit. So when you start to talk numbers, the most
populated place in like the world, damn.
Yeah, but I think when like the World Health Organization is saying like this is serious, like I don't know. I tend to believe. I'd rather believe that it's serious and be careful than risk it. You don't want to wake up tomorrow and be like, damn, I said that coronavirus was bullshit. Like, you waking up.
I'm not gonna call it bullshit, but I definitely think that the media is hyping it up more than what it is.
Yeah, I mean, my immune system is good. It's very strong. So hopefully I don't catch this corona stuff. I'd rather drink a Corona, to be honest.
You're not gonna catch the Corona. Let me be quiet. For God, show me some shit I don't want to say.
This is a pretty quick topic in my group chat today. You know, I'm in a bunch of toxic group chats.
Group chats.
Yeah, but you know, they surprised me today when they put in that Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union are now calling their son. They're addressing their daughter now as Zaya Wade. Mm-hmm. How do we feel about that?
Who cares? If that's what makes the kid happy, let them be happy. Who cares what they want to be called?
Exactly what I said.
I have a friend that's currently transgender and transitioning, and I personally feel like it's hard, especially being like face to face with those people that make that decision. And it's like, you can't. America's so harsh. It's so harsh. So how old? 7, 8, 12? How old is?
He's like 12.
That's a very, very, very young age to have to deal with something like that. Yeah. And most of us are not, well, I'm a parent, but a lot of people aren't parents. So you don't really know how to confront those type of conversations until you are a parent. Mm-hmm. And you want to be protective of your child and you want them to make the right decision, but you also don't want them to be judged from the outside. So I think what they're doing is amazing. You got to show your kids love, because outside might not be as lovable as it is in your household. They can
come home to a safe space. Like, it is what it is. Like, you can't help it. People are gonna bully you outside. Everything's gonna happen. But in your head, as long as you know you have somewhere at least you can escape to where that love is, and that's what they're providing. Then more power. Who cares if you want to be called a boy, girl, transsexual, non-transsexual, whatever. It's not my life. Like, who cares? If you want to be addressed as fucking, what's the name?
Zaya,
like, okay, Zaya, what's up? Like,
that's
your choice. We call people by their rapper names, right? That's not their name. Like,
that's true. And respect it. Like, even if you don't agree with it, respect it.
And if people feel too young, who cares? When we were young, we all probably did different phases and stuff like that. We tried different things out. Maybe this isn't what that person's gonna do for the rest of their life, but that's what they feel like right now. Then just let it be.
Exactly.
I agree. So I know we talk about Power a lot here too. Power is currently over. Well, not over, but last season is over.
Bravo.
I wanted to give a huge congratulations to 50 Cent, because watching the end of Power actually motivated me a lot. It was like the end of Power. Then it was 1996. Then it was Power Book 1, Power Book 2. And we got snippets of majority of what's going on, which showed me 50 Cent is working. Like, there's no days off over here. We working. And then tonight is the premiere of his new show For Life on ABC 7. That's big for the black man to me. I mean, I know we got Empire, which is cool, but don't do that.
Don't do what?
Don't do it. We still got to give Empire their flowers, too, because they was rocking for a while. They've been rocking for a while.
I'm going to give you your flowers for rocking for a while, but they're not going to be like a super dope flower. Like, I'm going to give you like a sunflower or something. Because, like,
this guy.
Okay.
The first 2 seasons of Empire to me was like good.
Yeah.
Like, they were good. And then it's just a classic case of you've been going on too long. You're dragging out the stories. The stories is getting bad. It's becoming too sensationalized. Like, Lucius damn near died and came back. Like, come on, son. That's the same problem I had with Power when 50 died in the fire and then he came back half burnt. I'm like, bro, you can't do that, son. He was dead. He was locked in there dead, burning to death. Now he came back with just bandages on and now I'm burnt.
You're right. But I'm going to still give Empire their flowers.
Shout out to Empire.
They lasted a long time.
Very long time.
Wait, is it still on?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Empire's still rocking.
Empire's still on. Yeah. And shout out to Power, too.
But damn, 50 Cent just like, you taking over the mainstream. That's lit.
Yeah, and for somebody like 50 to do that, as controversial as 50 is, and for him to still be getting these bookings and like getting these placements on these big networks, that's big. That shows you that you don't really got to compromise yourself to get where you want to be and what you need to do.
Let's just think about them people don't care about none of that.
Because
they think about this.
Because 50 be on the internet going crazy.
Yep.
Going crazy at everybody. He don't care who you are. At one point he was going crazy at the Stars Network for doing something to Power. And what they did, they kept showing Power and they acquiesced at all his demands.
Yep.
You feel me?
50's always worked. What was that movie when he even like lost all the weight, looked like a cancer patient?
Yes.
But like it shows that he's willing to do whatever it is to do what he wants to do.
Right.
So like you said, you got respect. Like you said, he's working. So a person who's willing to lose all that weight, I remember he was like,
the football movie, right?
Yeah, I think so. Was it? I don't even remember. I just remember he looked like a cancer patient.
Yep, I remember that.
And skinny.
And we're not talking about somebody that was skinny that just got a little skinnier. Like 50 was like, my man got all his back tattoos erased.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or lasered off, or however he did it.
Damn, man,
just
I'm
present a more professional image or whatever. I don't know exactly, but like,
right. That's dedication.
Facts. So I will be watching For Life tonight, just in support of what 50 is doing, because I'm happy for him.
Let me know how it is.
Why you just can't watch it?
Why? Because I be busy sometimes.
Busy doing what?
I just be busy sometimes. Plus, like,
it's 8:00, bro.
Yo, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? That's the real
relax,
question. Like, what are you doing when you get home?
Plus,
I really want to know.
I need a recommendation. Like, I need somebody to be like, yo, this is dope. Check it out. And I'll be like, all right, cool.
Look at your skin. That's the recommendation.
That's the recommendation?
Facts.
I like what you did there. But I'm not in the business of, I mean, I am in the business of supporting people because they black, but you're not about to pull that card on me tonight. That's what you're not about. You're not about to pull that card on me tonight.
I tried.
Please.
Shout out to you for coming to Champions Corner today.
For real.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having out. It was super dope, fun.
Make sure you let everybody.
That was cool. You guys had the conversation at the end of that. That's cool. So you all just keep grinding. Who else y'all got coming out here? I know y'all said Clico.
Yeah, we have Clico. We have a couple more. Where's the? We have the.
You got LaPew, super dope. He's
yeah.
Gonna be on my show in like a few weeks.
Super dope, real intellectual. Yeah, we're booked through.
End of March.
Yeah, we're booked through the end of March. So.
Y'all popping.
We're trying to get there.
We're working. We're trying to be popping, but you know we getting there.
What do you mean? You are popping.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Booked through March. The Champions Corner. You guys got like the whole intro and stuff now, or I'm not sure if you guys had it, but like I peeped. I was like, oh wow, like you're saying. I even told Gene like check it out, and he like really liked the intro. So I was like, y'all moving. Y'all
well, we can't take all the credit. We gotta get a shout out to the man behind the camera, Mr. LRM himself. You feel me? Anybody wants to do a show here at LRM, make sure you hit LRM Network on Instagram.
Please.
Really dope space to have.
Thank you again for coming up and chilling with us, bro.
Anytime.
Let the people know where they can find you.
Yes.
You can find me in LRM. No. On Instagram you can follow me. ItsRichZ, ItsRichZ. YouTube, ItsRichZ again, but a space between the It's and the Rich Z. And then you can just find me just roaming around the streets. I don't know.
Rolling around the street.
Rolling around the street, just out here trying to find music in any crack or crevice I can.
Is there like an email where people could send music to you?
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, richzellermedia@gmail.com, ZELLER. Or just shoot it to these people, and y'all can curate for me.
Yeah, we'll plug you in. Is that what we do? Thank you guys for tuning in to yet another episode of Champions Corner here at LRM Network. I'm Simone.
That pussy was wet, roll your boat. Hop in the jet, go space, go. Flex a finesse, get it for the low. I'm in the throat like she about to choke. Feel like Bruce Lee, roar with the glow. Feel like 2, 3 holes, maybe 4. Blow up a 5, bust it with the bro. Slipping, I slide, beat it to the float. All that shit dope, better guard your nose. All that shit dope, better guard your nose.